Welcome back, everyone. Kevin Shea with Jim Wilson, the sports editor for the Telegram and Gazette. Willie, we are back. 2 weeks into the high school season. Frenzy Extra's back. Willie and I are back to talk about
my
these
iPod,
teams.
but we did Oklahoma drills beforehand. So
that's right.
Let's get all pumped up.
We did some karaokes. We did Oklahoma drills. 3-point, 2-point waves, and 4-point waves.
Some bear crawls. It was great.
Exactly. We've done our off-season work. Now we're in mid-season form. Let's go through the top 10 and start with the top team in Central Mass right now, St. John's.
Far and away.
Yeah, and that's what I think too. Go ahead with your thoughts on
I think
first.
St. John's. Are they ready to go on a no doubt tour? Not quite, but they're still very loaded. I think we've been talking about Peter Oliver for 3 years now. He's shown he's ready to handle the backfield load. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He's super fast. Runs like a 2.40. He's insane. I mean, I think Steven Bushaglia is a great quarterback. He's in the long lines of what everybody they've had. They can run the offense. The defense is stone cold. I mean, I think they've only given they played some great teams in Cathedral and Catholic Memorial.
Yeah.
They've shown. I mean, everybody told me that Springfield Cathedral game will be a test for them.
Right.
Or Springfield Central rather. They blew them out.
Yeah, they did.
So I think
it's incredible because you mentioned it's two teams out of the area with Catholic Memorial and Springfield Central. Crushed both of them. And one of the things I look at with Steve Biccialia's completion percentage. He's 27 of 39. He just doesn't miss on his passes. He's got a wealth of guys to throw to. He's got Zach Padoni, Coleman Drugach. They haven't even really used a ton of Hunter Gorgish yet.
No.
So you have basically your Rob Gronkowski just waiting in the wings. And with Eamon Dennis, who has taken back a kick for a touchdown in each of the first 2 games, and Peter Oliver, you have 2 running backs that both run a sub 4.5 40. They're faster than 4.5 40. No other Central Mass backfield has that. You and I were talking about this. I bet few in the state, if any in the state. Maybe a BC High has it, maybe a Zavarian, I don't know, but to have 2 running backs that are that fast, and they're strong. They're not just kids that are $130 that can fly, but you can push them and they're going to go over.
Even if they do have a kid like that, you got to stop 2.
Right.
So it's like, okay, put the kids on streaks and then forget about it.
And 26 seniors. You have a lot of guys that don't have to play both ways. You have leadership at every position. Just phenomenal. Now, just going a little ways up the street, Shrewsbury's number 2, off to a real good 2-0 start. Beat Shepherd Hill, beat Grafton. They were tested both weeks. One thing I see about this team, it's an all-around team. It's not just 1 or 2 stars. This is a great football team. It's predicated on defense. Their defense is what's carried the load through the first 2 weeks of the season. They've only given up a total of 24 points in 2 games.
Exactly. We talked about earlier how the great Shrewsbury teams in the past, when they're Terry Wallace and those guys, they have a guy like Jawad Yateem throwing the ball, pocket passer. He likes to, he can see his roots happen. He can correct. Drew Campanelli can do all that stuff, but he can also run. He gives him an extra weapon, which is perfect for John Aloisi's offense because he can make a decision. If the guy's not there in first read or he drops down, he checks down to a receiver, not there, see you later, he's gone.
Right.
He's rushed for 127 yards already.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty impressive with the schedule they've played to put up those kind of numbers.
Right.
And they've, like you said, they've shown they can win these tough games. They came back to beat Grafton. They beat a very good Shepherd Hill team who should be ranked higher in the poll.
Yes,
and
completely
I think
so.
that's a good testament. They're winning these games. Last year they had made a statement of being a streaky team.
Right.
They'd win 2, they'd drop 3, they'd win a couple more. They get hot at the right time. Next thing you know, they're playing at Gillette. I don't know if they're going to have to do that this year because I think they can win out. I mean, they're a very good team.
No, they certainly
St. John's in a couple weeks to be there.
It will be a
touchstone game.
Huge test. Campanelli's averaging 10 yards a rush, to your point, talking about him as a runner. Wachusett, exactly what we've come to know about these and love about these Wachusett teams, these Mike Dubzinski coach teams. They're going to be physical. They're going to be strong. They're going to be big up front. Nothing fancy. We're coming right at you. It's almost Green Bay Packers, Vince Lombardi football. You know what we're going to run. You try and stop it because we are just going to hammer you each and every play. They can throw the football, but you know that 98% of it is hammer time. Just line it up. Here we go. Oklahoma drill.
I think we've been saying the same thing. Wachusett has been like a Mad Lib sort of preview for like the last 20 years. It's, Wachusett is tough and big up front, and they have X running the ball.
Yep.
This year it's going to be Cole Durkin, who's a monster in the backfield.
Yes.
He can win a game by himself. I think they can have that big offensive line to pave a lot of way. They play a tough schedule. I think they can be tested soon. I think they got a very difficult Algonquin team because you have a new coaching staff in there. You want to see which team is they young. Are they it'll be a good test for Algonquin. They're not going to take them lightly.
No, Sam Brewer's another one of those great backs, and that's what Wachusett always has. They always have a bevy of these backs that they can throw at you, so it's not one guy carrying the ball 30 times a game. Marlboro, you and I have talked about it. Sean Mahoney's one of the best coaches in the state, in the country for that matter. He adapts to what he has each and every year. He has a veteran line. Everyone comes back on the line. This is a team, though, let's talk about their defense. They've given up a total of 15 points. 1 touchdown per game in each of their first 2 games, which included Leominster and Algonquin.
Right. We talk about Mahoney all the time because I think he's very underrated in terms of how people, because he probably plays, he'll tell you, be the first person to tell you. They play in that corner, 495, sort of under the radar a little bit. Next thing they're going to the playoffs 8-2, and they just start killing people.
Right.
I think this is a perfect testament to Mahoney and his staff this year. They lost 9 offensive starters, 4 out of the 5 offensive line are gone. And they just, okay, I have 2 returning starters on skill positions. That's not a problem. They don't miss a beat. He figures out how they handle Leominster, a game that was supposed to be a test for them. And I don't know what kind of Leominster team they have this year. They're 0-2. The tough loss to Everett. I don't know how much you can really gauge on how good they are because that's a very good team they lost to. But still, Marlboro getting handling Leominster like that says a lot about
at Doyle Field. With 4 new starters on your offensive line making their first varsity starts. That's crazy.
And they come back next week and beat a good Algonquin team coming off a great opening win themselves.
Right.
They got Westboro this week, and Westboro under Dave Tingloff. That's going to be a much tougher team to play. Westboro, let's be honest, the last couple of years they were seen as a bye for the good teams. Not so this year. They lost to Neshoba last week, but they played them tougher than they ever have in the last couple of years. That's going to be a good test to see what kind of Marlboro team they have.
Yeah, they certainly did. And speaking of Neshoba, this is, again, the names, the faces may change, but there's still a Tucker coaching, and there's still the same team.
Hume in the backfield.
They run a Hume. There's another Hume. This time it's Kyle Hume, not Zach Hume, but he's a beast. Kyle Hume's a beast. And what I love about this Neshoba team is they run that wing tee. They're so disciplined with it. They run it so well. You and I were talking about it. Throwing the ball a little bit more with one of the all-name team receivers, Breeze Hill. Breeze the Thrill Hill. But it's almost like they're daring you to put 10 guys in the box to stop this wing tee offense. And if you do, they'll throw it right over the top. Belinsky's a real good quarterback, Sam Belinsky.
He's thrown 14 or made 14 completions this year. 9 have been to Hill. So I mean I think Hill's good enough where if he gets double teamed, which he probably will be next couple of weeks after when the word gets out on him.
Right.
I think they have enough capable. They're deep enough where they can find other options.
Yeah, Hill averaging 25 yards a catch, and you and I talked about this too. With the wing tee offense, you focus on Hume, and you have linebackers focusing on him and reading him and flowing to him. They'll send him one way and run a counter back the other way and trap you. And they're very well coached and they're a smart team. St. Peter Marion off to a real good start, 2-0. A team that has their quarterback. When your best athlete on the team is your quarterback, and he's playing offense, defense like they have with Danny Mom, and he's a great leader, you're going to be a good football team, and it's going to be a lot less on the coaching staff because you don't have to do as much of the leading. This kid's going to lead the team.
And they got a lot to prove because they were ranked last by the Southeast Conference of Get Back coaches in the poll. So I'm sure Justin had that right on the wall for a training.
You know what? You're right. He definitely had that. Couple asterisks.
Yeah, just look at what these guys are saying about you. I think, and they come, like you said, Matt Dunphy, he's going to give a lot of teams headaches. He's going to be a game plan problem. I think he said, Maul on both sides of the ball, you got to worry about him.
Oh,
I mean, other teams are coming out, and he's the first guy to look at where is he, what's he going to do.
Yep.
Can you spy him? What can you do? Because he's going to give a lot of teams headaches.
Oh, and he's accurate. Same thing. 16 of 24 passing, 275 yards, 4 touchdowns. Owen Leary, his father is a coach there too, Sean Leary. Right. Owen's a great player, and that's just a football family. Sean's dad was a legendary coach. Now, they have Concord Carlisle coming up this week. Now, I would hope that Sean Leary is going to give the speech because he grew up in Acton. That was the #1 hated rival of Acton. Sean wanted to beat. It was Concord, then Maynard. But Concord was #1. His dad hated Concord. Anyone that put on the blue and gold hated Concord. So I hope Sean Leary is giving the speech this week for St. Peter's against Concord, rather
not
Maynard.
Coming off a great win against Uxbridge.
Yeah.
I mean, they were down 17 in the third quarter. And that's really great because we talked earlier about Justin McKay coming in for Tom Henriksen as coaching change in the offseason. That win early says a lot about how Justin and his staff has really set the tone for that team because they had the statement, they were down, they could have packed it in. Young team, Uxbridge is be very good this year.
Yep.
And they came back to, when chips were down, they came back to get the win.
Now, you look at Grafton, over 80 kids in the program. Chris McMahon's done a great job with that program, too. And they've opened eyes. They played Shrewsbury tough, right down, eye to eye, play for play. I think they come out of that game with a lot of confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is a guy, too, we've talked about teams replacing lines. His entire O-line comes back, and that's a big, big factor for this Grafton team. Farrah coming back at running back in your whole O-line, and your quarterback comes back, Matt Holbrook, as well.
Exactly. And everything they want to do on offense doesn't change at all. I mean, they have the people, they know the system, they know the coaches know what they can do, they know who to call on in certain key play moments. Farrah's been 250 yards, 28 carries. He's been a workhorse for him. I think he's going to be, a guy to watch the rest of the year. I think they said that loss to Shrewsbury isn't a big deal. It's a blip in the radar. In fact, they can probably get better from that because they know they can go in there and play with those teams. They're not going to see anybody as good as Shrewsbury on their schedule this year, probably.
No, they definitely won't. And credit for them for playing them. I like when teams play up, and that's what Chris McMahon said. We want to challenge ourselves. If we want to be seen as one of the best teams in Central Mass, we have to play the big boys. Well, they played the big boys and got a lot of respect for playing them. I love it. Northbridge. Aiden Fair, are we seeing the next in a long line of Northbridge quarterbacks that can just tear it up, throwing the football, running the football?
Just go to the collection of water boys and say, okay, it's your turn. Pick a number and just go. We graduated. 90% of our offense. Don't worry about it. We got a sophomore kid. He's going to be fine. Zach Roberts. So he doesn't have to do the workload. Zach Roberts there. He can take his leading team in rushing. I think he once has 200 yards rushing, 160 or so. So Aiden's not. It's not like Kenny's going to the agency, but you got to win this for us.
Right.
He has some help.
And once again, if you're playing Ken LaChapelle's team each and every week, your scout team is running every trick play you can. But on Friday night, when Northbridge runs them, they work.
Right.
It's a tribute to Coach LaChapelle. He knows when to call the plays, and he knows how to draw the other team in. Because all week long, those scout teams are running the double reverse pass. They're running the skip pass. Everything they can. But on Friday night, when they run it, it works.
Yep, exactly. They got a big test.
Real quick, we got Doherty and Shepherd Hill that we got to get to in about 15 seconds.
We got farther than I thought we did.
I know. Doherty, Shepherd Hill, quick, your thoughts.
I like Tejan Vassar. He's probably one of the best running backs you'll see this year. In fact, he's appointment viewing. You should go out and see him play. They had a win last week where it's basically, they just had the starters play half. They don't need. They did what they had to do. You didn't get to see what he could possibly do.
Shepherd Hill's the Ben Carpenter story.
The coming out party last week for Carpenter.
372 yards in 2 games. Griff, we will get to you because the Leicester team's not in the top 10. They're my team to watch because they got a real good line, and their running backs have been playing great. I want to talk about Gosselin, Grebel, Brown, and Padini. There we go. We got them in. We'll see you next week.
I bet the under.